Welcome to
The ALEJO Show.
Oh my god, this is my first radio TV show. I don't know how to call this. Radio, TV, YouTube, whatever. But this is the first one, and I am very, very happy to be here. This is the new project of ALEJO Lopera Inglés, and we're going to have something that is called ALEJO S Show. Very creative name. I couldn't come up with another name, but this is a very good name. And I'm gonna be telling you a lot of stories about myself and about my friends and about a lot of things. But the idea is that we practice, obviously, listening, and we learn new words, and we learn from the people who are gonna be with us. Today, my first guest is a very, very beautiful girl. You are not gonna believe that she was my teacher. Because as soon as you see her, you're gonna tell me, no way, there's no way she was your teacher. You're way older than she is, and that's actually true. ELI NOREña is with me. Eli, welcome. Thank you very much for being here on my show. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Alejo. I feel truly honored being here in the ALEJO Show, and I feel even more happy because I have the chance to share this awesome time with you.
My God, you're beautiful.
Thank you so much. I'm blushing. I'm blushing. Oh my God.
Eli, people are gonna tell me, oh, come on, she was not your teacher. You were my teacher, right?
Yes, indeed. I had the pleasure of being your teacher.
My English teacher.
Yes, your English teacher, like, I don't know.
Oh, many years ago.
Like 2007, I think.
Oh, that was many years ago.
Yes.
I had hair. I'm just gonna tell you that I had hair when you were my teacher.
Yes.
Okay, that's the story. So you want to tell the story, or should I tell the story?
Let me know.
I'm gonna tell the story at the beginning. So I was at the university, and I was studying, to become a teacher, and out of the blue, I was in a classroom. I was just waiting. We were just waiting for the new teacher to come. You know, first day of class is always complicated. And out of the blue, this lovely, beautiful girl comes in, and she says with that voice, "Hello, I am your new teacher." And we were like, "What? She must be kidding. How old were you when you were my teacher?"
I was 19.
19 years old?
Yes.
A university teacher, 19 years old? Is that
Yes.
true?
Yes, I
How
started
can is that possible?
because I was a very nerdy girl when I was in high school. So I finished high school when I was 15 years old.
15 years old, okay.
Yes. Like I turned 15 on October 30th, and on January I was starting university. So the only time that I had was for studying because I was a minor, so I couldn't party.
Okay.
I couldn't do the
So
other things.
you never, I mean, at that time you never go to
To the discos,
discotheques and stuff because you were at the
no.
university all the time.
Yes, I took
Okay.
like 9 courses per semester.
What?
So
9 classes per semester?
Yes, I was-
What are you, Einstein? I mean,
No.
nobody can do that.
I'm an Einstein. I really love to study. I'm nerd. I completely nerdy. I'm a book lover, and at that time I didn't have time for anything. Just
Studying.
Yeah,
No
just
parties,
studying.
no boyfriends,
at the
no
time,
nothing.
My first boyfriend was when I was about to finish college.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So you started at the university being a teacher. They accepted you because you were very good, even though you were very young, because that is not very common. They see youth and they said, maybe she is lacking experience. So how did you get to be a teacher at the university?
First, I started teaching English in the school because our university in Medellin has education since preschool
Okay.
until PhD.
All right.
So I started the first year when I was 18 years old,
Okay.
teaching the school. I had the chance to teach at the beginning in 9th grade and then in 5th grade. That was the first time that I had the chance to work with children, and it's an experience that I treasure a lot. I think that the didactic that we develop to teach
Sure.
come when we have the chance to teach little kids.
Yeah, and teaching little kids, I don't know if you share this with me, but teaching is fantastic, but teaching to kids is kind of special, even more than adults.
Yes, of course, because we have to plan lots of different activities
I
because
know,
their
yeah.
attention span is last like for 7 minutes or less. So when you plan different activities, you use different resources.
All right.
Really, because kids learn in a very visual way.
They get bored very
Yes.
easy. So it's like you plan a very good class, and like 5 minutes later, they could be like, "Oh,
So you
I
have-
already finished," and we are like, "Oh my God, what am I gonna do?"
Yeah, and they became like completely crazy. If you have nothing to do, it's like a classroom jungle.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that in that year, I have the chance to develop that skill of preparing very good lessons
All
with
right.
different materials. And I said, okay, I have to apply this
Okay.
once I have the chance to teach young learners or adults.
All right.
So when I was on my career, I had the best score during the semester. So I have scholarship for being the best student at the faculty.
No way. I wonder why. Because you were a nerd. I mean, you
Yes.
were a nerd. All right.
And the faculty, one teacher that I had, that is Adriana Alvarez, she called me. There was a position at the faculty that since I was already in the university's school, I can apply for the position for teacher. And I gave her my resume, my CV.
And they said, yes,
Yes,
let's do it.
They made me an interview. And I was very, very scared at the beginning.
Was the interview in English?
Yes. It
Oh,
was in
really?
English, yeah.
Okay.
Because the course that they needed a teacher for was research in the classroom, and that is a course that was for like the last semester of the Faculty of Education, the students who were in the BA of Modern Languages.
It was very hard, I have to say. I don't remember if I passed.
Yes, you were one
I
of
did?
the best.
Really? Did I? Oh my God, I don't remember.
And you went abroad during the course.
I know,
But
but
you sent me the papers on time by
it was,
mail.
it was so I was so I have to tell you this, guys, I was so embarrassed because normally I missed a lot of classes. I didn't go to a lot of classes, and I was like, "Teacher, I'm so sorry, I was just working." And she was so serious. She was like, "Okay, come on, you were serious." I mean,
Yes,
you
and-
were very
yeah.
strict.
But I think that because of my age, I know that my students were, some of them, the same age as me. Others were older than me.
Most of us were older than you. You were 19. Come on.
And when I had the chance at the faculty, I remember that I had a conversation with my dad before I started the course, and he says, you have to prove yourself,
Sure.
first to yourself, then to the others. That age doesn't match experience most of the time.
Exactly. That
Because
is a
you
very
are
good
gonna
message.
find people in your life that are 40, 50, or 60, but they're still behaving as teenagers.
Exactly, yeah.
So the way you are, the way you think, and the way you act are the three things that are going to show your true colors, who you
Exactly.
really are, your value.
That is very beautiful.
So I was 19, but I was like a 4-year-old.
No way. And you know what? It's kind of amazing because you look, and I'm saying this in the nicest way ever, you are like a vampire. She is just the way I met her. I mean, you look the same as you looked that day when we met
I am
you.
a vampire, Alejo.
You are a vampire,
Yes,
right?
it's
Oh
my
my
secret.
God. So today we don't have a teacher, we have a vampire on the show. Eli, I want to ask you something. You know, I have a lot of subscribers on my YouTube channel. I've been very blessed that the people believe that I'm a very good teacher. I consider myself a student, not like a teacher, but a student. And a lot of kids are asking me all the time, listen, I don't have anyone to practice with. You know, I live in Peru, I live in Chile, I live in Colombia, I don't live in the States or Scotland or England. And I don't know how to practice my English because I think I have a lot of English, but it doesn't come out because I don't know how to do it, because I don't know how to practice. And I want to ask you, as teacher, probably you have gotten this question a lot. What would you recommend to those people who say, I don't have anyone to practice with? How can they do it? What would be your recommendation to do that?
I think that nowadays we are blessed because perhaps we don't have someone in front of us to communicate.
Yeah.
Like you said, you cannot go to a conversation club because you don't have the opportunity. But online, you can find lots of resources and tools to complete this process of the language acquisition.
All right.
So watching movies with English subtitles, it could be like an old tip, but it works.
It works every
Every
time.
time, yes.
It works every time. This
Listen-
morning I was watching The Avengers again. Well, it's not like a very deep movie, to be honest, but I was watching The Avengers and I learned a lot of vocabulary from The Avengers, for
But
example.
always keeping the subtitles in English because, or the closed caption option that you have on your TV.
Okay, so that's something that they asked me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
English and English subtitles. That would be a
Yes.
recommendation for
Yeah,
you.
because in Spanish, students tend to translate all the
Sure.
time. So the idea is that you start developing yourself and try to think on the second language that you are acquiring. So when you, perhaps you listen to something, but you couldn't get it well, but when you see the subtitle in English, you can associate the word with the sound.
All right.
And you can start distinguish how the correct spelling of the word is.
Fantastic. That is a fantastic tip.
So that is something that is old, and many people, have told about that, but
Exactly.
people don't put that into practice all the time.
Yeah, they just go lazy and they say, "Oh, I'm just gonna go back to Spanish subtitles.
Yes.
It will be easier for me
At
to
the
do it."
beginning is tough,
Uh-huh.
but if you keep on doing that, you will see how your brain works and
Uh-huh.
how the brain starts associating the sound with the written word.
Let me stop you right there because you are so beautiful, and I have a lot of people just walking around and just stopped, not to watch me, but to watch you, which is good. Which is good. I mean, come on, people, you can watch us. That's a good thing. Eli, talking about that, I want to go back to the time when you were a student, when you learned English. How did you learn English? Did you learn English when you went to college? I mean, when you went to the university to be a teacher, or was it in the school? Did you travel? How did you learn?
I was blessed because my parents are Colombian, both of them, but my dad speaks 7 different languages.
7?
Yes.
No way. Okay, tell me. English, Spanish,
French,
French,
Italian,
Italian,
Portuguese,
Portuguese,
Greek, and Latin.
Greek,
Yeah.
Latin. Who speaks Latin?
He's a lawyer and
Okay.
he had to study Greek and Latin. And the others were because it was his decision.
Oh,
So during the 60s and 70s, he worked for the government and in the international ministry. And he had to have all his work in English. And he said, once I have a kid, I know that this language really opens the doors of the world in many things, for traveling, for studying, for working. So
he
when-
was pushing you, I guess.
when I was born,
Okay.
he fulfilled that promise that he kept for himself like for 20 years. So since the very moment I was born, I was exposed to the language.
He was talking to you?
Yes.
Okay, that's good because, I am a father like 20 days ago. I haven't slept in the past 20 days and I'm freaking out. I'm seeing spots as I'm speaking.
Alejo zombie.
Yeah, I'm Alejo Zombie. This is not the Alejo Show, but the Alejo Zombie Show. And people have asked me, have you spoken to your girl in English? And I have, but I'm not really sure if she is obviously understanding. But as the days goes by, I'm gonna just continue doing it. But so since you were a little baby, he started talking to you
Yes.
in 7 languages?
No, he just talked to me in English. My mom
not even in Spanish.
No, just my dad was the person in the house who always speaks in English.
English,
Yes.
all right,
I
okay.
say speaks because
He still speaks
yeah.
in English.
My mom was the one who
Maybe
taught me.
he could be in the show.
Yeah,
We can invite him to the show. That would be good.
that would be
All right,
awesome.
okay.
My mom used to talk to me in Spanish. Of course, that is the mother tongue, right?
Okay.
So I think that because of the plasticity of the brain, child can acquire any language that is supposed to. I mean, from zero.
And we don't have those prejudgments like, oh, this is difficult.
This is
and,
going to
you know,
confuse the
yes,
baby.
yeah.
No. And when you have the chance to be exposed to the language, when from 0 to 7 years old, you develop yourself, your phonatory system develops a way to speak the language in the proper way.
All right.
So when you are older, you are going to acquire a third or fourth language. The process will be easier and faster for you
Of course.
because it has been shown by science. I mean, not just by linguistics, by science, how the brain works. And when in terms of languages, all the zones in the brain lights up in the
All right.
moment you are exposed to that. So it means that languages are the ones who make all the brain function and work.
And what about you? How many languages do you speak? Because I know you don't only speak Spanish and English.
I speak English, Spanish, French, and ancient Greek.
This
That
is crazy.
Greek Koine. That is the name of that.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God, who speaks
And
that?
I was studying Italian, but Italian I just reached until the 8th level.
8th level, like you already speak Italian.
It's like a basic intermediate. I mean,
Basic inter. Come on.
the ones
I don't even know. I just know how to say pizza and buongiorno, and that's what I know. I mean, I don't know anything else.
No, but
Yeah, she's very humble. She's very humble. All right, but let's go back to English.
Okay.
When you were learning English, and I know it's a very different process because you were learning English since you were a little baby. You didn't go like in school or like a course or anything. What was the most difficult thing for you to learn? Because people are always telling me, phrasal verbs are crazy. The verb to get is crazy. Which one is like the most difficult for you? Or was the most difficult for you?
in terms of grammar, once I was like in the structural part of the language was like the reported speech.
Reported speech. Oh
Yes.
yeah, that's good.
When I was little, when I started to learn how to read and write, it was something very funny because I learned how to speak English first, then Spanish, but I learned how to read and write first in Spanish.
Okay.
So when I had that process in Spanish, I was in a school that we have English in preschool.
All right.
That was something good because my dad was the first skills that he developed with me were listening and speaking, and then reading and writing when I learned how to read and write in Spanish. And on Saturdays, he used to sit with me from 9 a.m. to 12 to noon, and it was the time for teaching me how to read and write
Really?
in English.
Saturday morning? I mean, that's
Yes,
the time when you
at the
watch the Smurfs and
beginning, yes,
Transformers and
yes.
those are
And I
TV shows.
missed lots of TV
Oh
shows.
yeah.
yes.
You didn't go to parties and you didn't watch all those shows. You have a lot to catch
No,
up.
But
You-
after I finished my BA in modern languages, of course I had the time to party.
Okay. You party a lot. All right.
And in that time when I was learning how to read and write in English, I remember that at the beginning I didn't get it. Why do I have to do this on a Saturday morning?
Of course. I mean,
And
you
I
get
was,
too
I
bored.
was little. I was 60 years old in
Sure.
that moment. But my dad used to have like a very funny and tricky way to get me into the mood
Oh, all right.
to
Okay.
learn, and he showed me comics, movies. I remember that he even bought me posters
Oh,
with
okay.
things, and he always told me that besides the movies and the songs, something that helps you to learn like vocabulary that you need every day
Sure.
was from newspapers and magazines, because that is not the academic English, that is the real English.
Nah, yeah, the English that
Because,
everybody
yeah,
speaks.
when
all
you
right.
read academic books, you are learning a different kind of English, not the straight language.
But you know what? Your father did something very good. And I have a lot of teachers to blame in my particular case. And probably you will agree with me and people who are watching this as well. There are teachers that mutilate those eagerness, those, people wanted to learn something. In
willingness,
my case, I have to say, and this is not an excuse, I failed 8th grade. I had to repeat 8th grade. Because I never understood my math teacher. And he was teaching me math, but, in a very basic level, but I never understood that. And that's why today, I'm not going to say I hate math, but I know squat about math. I don't know anything. I cannot, I cannot do anything in math because I didn't have like a proper teacher. So, for example, in English, I always hear people saying, I hate English because I don't understand English. But that is mostly teachers' fault. Don't you think that?
Yes, because the way they used to learn the language was like grammar, translation method.
Sure.
So that is not functional
It's
at all.
not good. It's
It's not good. And because they were forced to speak in front of the others when they were feeling ashamed or frustrated because they don't know how to do it, because they don't have enough vocabulary or something like that, but the teacher was making a pressure under them. So I think that is because the way they were exposed to the language
Exactly.
was not in a very healthy environment, in a good classroom atmosphere that they can feel secure and they can feel that, oh my God, this is useful. I mean,
Exactly.
if they are kids,
I am learning through this.
if I'm a kid, I can learn because I like video games, I like movies.
That's the way. Movies, for example, that will be good. I have a good question for you. Do you still? I mean, you have a fantastic, lovely English, but do you still have a word that you struggle with, like the pronunciation? Because I have a lot.
Yes,
I always avoid some words because those words are difficult to me. Do you have any word that is like, oh man, I always mispronounce this a little bit, kind of mispronounce this word?
In this moment,
That you remember?
yes, in this moment, I don't remember like a specific word, but sometimes something that happens to me, the same in Spanish, is like I tend to speak fast.
All
I'm
right.
trying in this ALEJO show.
Try to speak slowly, for me
yes.
and my students, please, of course.
Because when I speak fast, is the way that sometimes I mispronounce a word.
Oh, of course, but that
Spanish
happens
or
in
English.
Spanish
Yes,
when we
and
say
English as well.
a lot of
But I
things.
don't remember. Something that was tough for me was when I was those Saturdays mornings. He taught me the IPA, the International Phonetic Alphabet.
All right.
So when we
That is
find-
always tough.
Yeah, when we find the vocabulary list with the new words every Saturday, my dad made me write into parentheses the phonetic transcription of the word. That was the part that I hated because I felt
I
like
hate
I'm
that as
learning
well.
Russian. Then,
Yeah, that's horrible.
then in the university that we have the
You had to
remember,
teach it.
and I have to teach it. I have to learn it.
And
first.
we hate you when you did that. You were like, oh no, don't do that, please, Ellie.
But in the university, I started to fall in love with that.
All right.
I started to fall in love, with that. But during that age, phonetics was like tough.
It was
because
complicated
of the
because you don't
symbols,
think you need that.
Yeah.
And that's what happens with my subscribers. They say like, why do I have to learn grammar? Can I learn English without grammar? I say, yeah, it's like trying to drive a car without wheels. It's just the same thing. Ellie, which one is your favorite word in English? Do you have a favorite word in English? Because I do. I have like a lot
Yes.
of favorite words.
Pyramid. Is my
All right,
favorite.
really?
Yeah.
I was gonna get to that because you know what, Ellie, and I want to ask you, how come you know a lot about Egypt? Because you know a lot about that country. You're like the person that I know that knows the most about that country. When did you fall in love with that country and culture and everything?
Yes. When I was 7, 8 years old, I remember that I wrote a letter to Santa asking for my Christmas gift because at the moment of my life, I
And you
still
asked the camel.
no.
You didn't ask for the camel?
Even more, that won't surprise you because it's like my nerdy thing. I asked for an encyclopedia.
Oh, okay.
Of-
You know, normally people at 8 years
A
they ask for a
bike,
bicycle
yes,
and
I
they
know.
did for a Nintendo or something. You ask for an
The
encyclopedia.
Nintendo came out a year
later.
later.
All right.
yes.
Okay.
But because I don't know if I saw a movie, I don't remember.
You don't remember
or
why.
recall
You don't remember
what
why.
was the specific moment. If it was a movie or an image in a book, something that I have to see in that moment that make me feel connected with that culture. I mean, not the actual Egypt, the ancient
Yeah,
Egypt,
exactly.
yes?
All
So-
the goddess and you know the whole
the
thing.
mythology, the constructions, everything. So in that Christmas, I received a book of history about ancient Egypt, but for kids, and it has
okay.
like the pyramids that you can build. It has stamp.
So you could actually buy pyramid. I mean, construct it
Yes, it
with
was,
little pieces
with
and stuff.
cardboard.
Oh, okay.
It had the material, clay, everything you can buy because you can build. And it also, I remember it had like a papyrus leaf
Oh, really?
and stamps of hieroglyphics that you can make like secret messages for your friends. So that was the best Christmas gift that I remember. So that passion started to grow more and more and more.
Until you studied it.
Yeah, so I started to study that first, like a self-taught.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that in Colombia, in our city, Medellin, we don't have Egyptology as an option, but it was something that I really, really had inside of me, that
Alright.
a dream that I said, I have to accomplish this dream. So that's why that I choose my career in modern languages, because I know that I can connect languages with another kind of study then, because it's not like medicine or architecture.
Exactly.
Yeah, that you are
It's
just,
not boxing and medicine, like two different things. It's like
Yes.
something that you could get
yes,
connected.
because the languages are connected to
Of
everything.
course.
And I really love the humanistic part of the science. So there is an institute here in Medellin that is called Yurupari, and they had a diploma in history of ancient Egypt.
All right.
So I started studying there, and our professor there, he had a connection with a university in Spain, that is Universidad Complutense de Madrid. And there is a virtual institute with that university that holds the program, the Master in Egyptology, in a virtual way. So 10 people from the diploma applied to that project, and 5 of us
And guess
passed.
what?
Yes.
And guess
guess
what?
The vampire
The
passed.
vampire killed everyone. No, you didn't
No.
kill her. Of course, you got it. You got it. Of course.
And I had the chance to study my master in the thing that I love the most, that is Egyptology, and I finished 1 year and a half my studies. Now I'm an Egyptologist.
Wow, that's amazing.
So I have been giving conferences.
And you've gone
talks.
there, of course, like a couple of times, right?
I went to Egypt,
Yeah.
and I stayed there for 1 month and a half.
All right.
And I have the chance.
What was the most difficult in Egypt? Food, the heat, the smell of the camels. I mean,
the-
you
the
love
smell. No,
you love everything, but
Yes.
something must have been
Yes.
like, wow, I can't.
Cairo is a very crowded city. It's
I
like
know.
14 to 15 million
Millions-
inhabitants.
Wow, that's a lot.
So there are a lot of inhabitants. So the city is crowded. The city is not clean.
Of
Cairo.
course.
The time that I was there,
Or maybe it's not that it's not that clean. It's that the city we live in is super clean,
yeah, our city.
and we
is
take
awesome.
showers. That we
Yeah,
take
yeah.
showers like 2, 3.
The city and the people.
And the people
are clean.
do
yes.
not take showers. That's the thing.
Yeah, the smell of the people was tough for me.
Yeah, and because of the curry and you know all the things that
No,
they
the
eat.
curry is more in India.
All
I mean,
right.
They eat lots of spices, but I think that is because they don't take showers frequently.
Exactly.
And
It's
they
not
don't
their.
wash the
oh my
clothes
god. Oh
frequently,
my
so
god.
that is why.
When you watch a movie like The Mummy, all those movies that they are, you know, from Egypt and those things, I mean, do you laugh like, oh, come on, that is not real? Obviously not the mummies are real, but those things, those images, are they like real? Like, do they do like a research to do those movies? And you,
Yes.
now that you know those things, you're like, yes, this is true.
Yes, there are some like real facts that they use in the movie. When I watch The Mummy, the first movie and the second one, for example, when they talk about the Book of the Dead, when they talk about the statues of Horus and Anubis, the part of the hieroglyphics that they show, they're real.
Yeah.
I mean, but the Book of the Dead
Of course.
was not made of stone or gold, the Book of Life that they show there, no?
You're gonna destroy the movie for me. Now I'm
No.
gonna watch the movie and I'm gonna say that this is BS.
No,
This
no.
is not true.
Yeah, the Book of the Dead actually was something that they used to bury old mummies in the sarcophagus because they have like the magic spells and that they needed
Really?
to pass in the underworld. That is
Those
called
magic
the
spells were real?
Yes.
I mean, that was real? The
And the
witchery
Book of the Dead, the one that we know, is the most complete papyrus that they found. That is
Wow.
the papyrus of Annie. There was a scribe. There was a papyrus that they found in the tomb, like complete. And from that papyrus, they made a translation.
Wow. You know, I feel like we were in class again, like
Yeah.
in 2014 or whatever time it was. Well, you are watching and listening to the ALEJO Show, and I want to say that Eli didn't come alone, and she came with a very close friend of mine, a person that I really care about, and is her husband. And is El Maui. Maui, welcome to the show. It's a pleasure to have you here. Hey, El Maui's in the house.
Yeah, it's a little noise, for you guys because I don't know when and where
Come
you
closer
are.
to the mic, please.
Because I don't know when and where you all are watching this. So for sure, we need some good vibes here for you guys.
Of course.
For sure.
Of
Every
course.
single time is good.
I think Ellie is the most protected girl in the world. Look at the size of these arms of these men. I mean, this guy is gigantic. And you guys have a dog that is like a dog from the movie Twilight. It's like a wolf. So you
Game
are very
of
secure.
Thrones, from the
Game of Thrones.
Thrones,
So
yeah.
when you walk on the street with this guy and with the dog, There's no way something wrong is gonna happen to you.
I have my own Hulk here.
Exactly. Come on, Maui. You have traveled a lot since you were a little kid. I mean, you are this person that we all say like, wow, I wish I could do those things, because you have traveled and lived in so many countries, right?
Yep.
Like
Kinda.
which one?
Well, I just want to start saying something about you guys, and I'm gonna start pretty much traveling. I mean, my journey starts at 18 years old. Right?
18.
18.
All right.
And right now, you, Alejo, are like a really, really important point for some and for all those guys that are actually behind those screens looking
right.
at us or watching at us, because you teach English, but not just that. Or you encourage people to grow, to dream, to go
that's very
and
sweet.
get it. So that's so important, because the reason why I'm just take the decision, or I took the decision to leave the country, is because I just start to dream big.
All right.
And I'm
Okay.
saying it's time to go and get it.
Yeah. If I want to know these places, why can't I?
Yeah.
Let's just go and do it.
And also, I'm just start to review something, and I'm saying for myself, well, Maui, if you really want to go outside, right, you have to understand something. It's gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt. Yeah.
It's gonna hurt.
Sure.
It's gonna hurt, but you have to pay that price to achieve what you want for life. So
Okay.
it's just go and get it.
But did you learn English here in Colombia, or did you learn English while you were
Well,
traveling?
My story is really funny, because I will tell you something, guys. I just heard you, and I'm saying, oh my God, those guys are really
Oh, come
impressive.
on, shut
Oh,
up.
hell
No,
yeah.
shut up. You
I
have
will
a
tell you why.
fantastic level of English.
No,
as
no,
well.
but I will
Alejo
tell
is
you why.
impressive.
Come
Alejo
on.
is the one.
Yeah, of
I feel
course.
so proud
He's
of
the
him.
man. He's
No,
the man.
come on.
Yeah, Alejo is the
you,
man.
you,
I'm
you,
the
were,
student.
you were, you
I'm the
are my
student.
teacher,
No, but
of
you're,
course.
I'm the student
But
now,
Alejo is the
and
man,
I'm
yeah.
now
No, there's
learning
no
from
way.
you.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
no
yeah.
way. We could be
Yeah.
here like for hours and like, no, not you, not you.
That's the politeness. But, well,
Exactly.
but I will tell you
Student
something.
became the master.
Oh yeah, of
No,
course.
there's no way.
Well, that's the part of the life.
Yeah.
That's part of life, of
Well,
course.
so what happened, guys? Every single time that I'm gonna start to look at you, and I'm gonna start to listen how you speak, how you pronounce, how you even teach for people, it's like a what the freaking thing
What am I
is
doing
happening?
here?
Yeah, what is happening here?
Come on, but your wife is like this genius that knows a lot of
She is.
languages.
and you too.
I
Don't be
don't know.
humble.
You know, I'm having problems with my English. Imagine, I don't know Italian or
Well-
any other thing. Come on.
Well, I will tell you something, guys. What happened is that I learned English because I felt and I was under so much pressure.
Of course.
I learned because necessity.
You lived in New York, didn't you?
Yes, and
When you lived in New York, did you learn English? Like you learned this English?
That's English.
But
the
when you
street.
got there, you had no English at all.
Yeah, but the normal things, shirt,
Like
window,
yeah,
hi,
hello,
hola,
good
hey,
morning, and those things.
Hey,
And
¿cómo
you
tú
know what?
estás?
I cannot believe, and this is absolutely real. I am very proud of people who go and travel, and they just go to another country, but they have no idea about English. Because if you go to Miami, I mean, you're gonna find Dominicans and Mexicans and a lot of
Cubans.
Exactly. And if you go to New York, probably that's going to happen too, but not as common as Miami.
Yeah.
And I know people who have gone to Australia, to Canada, to America, not knowing English.
Yeah,
And
because
that's like
it
kudos.
depends-
I mean,
because it depends where you go and surround by. You know, because if you're just gonna surround by the same people doing the same stuff, and you don't break down this kind of change that attach you to anything that is happening in your life, you're never gonna go up, and you're never gonna progress, and you never grow. I mean, you're never gonna grow anything in life.
yeah, but I think it will be easier for you because you have this energy. You know, you always
Probably.
see the positive side. But you know, what I was asking Eli, and I want to ask you now. People are not very optimistic sometimes. Like, I'm not learning. Like, I think I'm stuck on my English, so I don't know what to do. What would you say to those people, guys?
I mean, for all of you guys, I just think, it's just my opinion, they're gonna take as true, is that, yes, Alejos and Eli just say something before, and it's not the topic itself, it's the way how you learn this
Exactly.
topic. So, for example, if you understand and you comprehend that you don't learn anything in life in that way, why you have to do the things on that way? You have to start to change, the way how you play the game, because otherwise you're gonna stuck on yourself, and someday when you're old, you're gonna say, oh.
Yeah,
my
I didn't do this, didn't do that. But you know what? And I'm very glad that you are here in the show now, because a lot of people who are watching this could say like, wow, I mean, well, of course, Eli is a teacher and she's a genius, so that's a different case.
She
and Alejo was trained, he was at the university, but you didn't study to be a teacher, and even though you speak a very, very respectable English, and that's good. People will say like,
Thank
yeah,
you so
I'm
much.
just gonna do as what he did, and I'm just gonna learn, which is something that we all should do.
And also for all of you guys, I have to I just wanted to share something with you. The English is my third language, actually.
All right, okay. So first Spanish.
Second Portuguese.
Oh, really?
And the third language is
I just
English.
love Portuguese. I don't know anything about
You
Portuguese.
can make him talk in Portuguese. That is
I was
something
gonna
else.
ask you that. But do you
That's-
know Portuguese?
Yeah, I don't
You
know
don't.
Portuguese. That's
Okay.
how he melted my heart.
Oh,
with
really?
Portuguese,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, so this is a very good recommendation, guys. If you, for example, wanna score with a girl, try to come up with a very good language they don't know. In this
Você-
case, Portuguese.
Você pode falar pra ela, oh meu amor, eu amo você muito, eu vou beijar.
I have no idea what you just said.
It's pretty much.
I have no idea what you
I
just
love
said.
you, my love. I wanna kiss you, pretty much.
Oh, I cannot kiss you, man. I'm married, so I'm sorry. I have a wife, so I cannot kiss you. But thank you very much for the offer. I feel honored.
No.
And
You're
yeah,
right,
and
right.
I don't think beer would match
No.
over there.
This bird gonna.
Yes,
tickle
right.
you.
You guys are itchy. Eli, I want to ask you, and I want you to be very sincere, because I have Maui here, and he will tell me if you rather saying whether saying the truth or not. You are a teacher, and when you're a teacher, you're always a teacher in any situation. When you're speaking with Maui in English, do you ever correct him? Like he says something that, for example, oh, my mom don't cook, for example. He doesn't make that mistake. That's silly. But just to make an example,
Yes,
do
I
you
have-
correct him? Like, hey, baby, that's not correct, or honey, or whatever you say.
Yes, I have to be honest.
Uh-huh.
Once you're a teacher, you're always a teacher.
You're always a teacher.
Yes, and he speaks an excellent
Yeah, he
English
speaks
because,
very good.
Yeah, and he speaks with a real accent because he used
He
to
lived
live in New York, so he has a very, very, very
Very well, very well.
Yeah, the
sexy,
pressure,
very
just
sexy
yeah, just the
accent.
pressure,
Yeah.
just the
Yeah,
pressure.
I know. Hell yeah.
Sometimes the thing that I have seen with Maui and with people that had the chance to learn the language that way in a real life experience, exposed in a very real life experience, is that they confuse singular and plural.
Exactly, that is very popular.
And
Like
per-
I have a cars. People
Mhm.
say that.
and for example, that sometimes he says people is and say no,
Ah,
people
alright.
are,
You guys are not gonna fight over this,
No,
right?
no.
Of course.
or with was and were. For example, he says
Okay.
you was no you were.
You was. Of
I try
course.
to be cute.
You try to be polite.
and polite.
Is
when
she? Is she?
But once teacher, everything.
Once you're a teacher, you're always a
Always a
teacher.
teacher.
And that's something that people ask me, like, do you teach English to your wife? And I said, actually, no. No, I don't. With wife, with wives and girlfriends, it's kind of different a little bit.
But of course, he knows how to speak the language. It was
Okay.
just tiny things, and I
Alright.
do it in a very lovable way.
Could you say I am very glad to be here in Alejo's show, and whatever else you want to say in French? Okay.
Of course. Je suis très contente parce que je suis ici avec mon ami Alejo. C'est un merveilleux show. Il est mon étudiant. Il parle anglais, espagnol. Et il est très intelligent.
Oh my God! Did
Je
you
t'adore,
insult?
je
Did you
t'adore.
just insulted me over there? No, of course not, right?
No.
Oui,
Insulted you.
Yeah, in French, here are the words. Here are the words I just know how to say in French. I know how to say croissant, Zinedine Zidane, Montpellier. Those are the only words I know how to say.
You forgot.
I forgot
something
one?
Really, really important.
Which one?
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Oh, bonjour. Yeah, bonjour. Buongiorno is in
I'm
Italian.
going to
of
tell
course.
you something
Alright.
in Greek.
Okay. Oh, in Greek. Oh my God.
But
Okay, this is great.
ancient Greek.
Okay.
Okay? Hoanthropos, kalos, kai agatos esti. I just said to you that you are a very good man and handsome man.
Oh, thank you very much. Now Maui's gonna bump my face. Now it's gonna, are you jealous because you have a very beautiful lady over there?
No.
No, you're not. How can you not be jealous? I mean, she's walking on the street and everybody's like, "Wow, she's so beautiful."
He doesn't care about me.
He doesn't care about. Oh my God! I think this show's somebody's gonna end up dead
It's
on
on
this
fire.
show. Yeah, this show's
the
on
really
fire
thing
a
that
little
happened
bit.
is that we base our relationship, we founded that pretty much in respect,
Oh, really?
neutrality, trust, and
That happens in the
communication.
movies, brother. I mean, everybody's jealous at some point.
No, look, that's why you told.
Really?
She
Never.
said-
He has never been jealous of anything.
No. Jealous, you can feel it. What I'm saying is that once that someone just say something good about her,
Okay.
you need to comprehend that.
Yeah,
as
you feel like yo, okay, she's mine and not
Yeah,
yours, which is
and
good.
she's the diva, right?
She's the diva.
She's the diva.
She's
so,
the diva, of course.
So I'm so proud of her, and for sure, look at her.
Yeah.
He's the sex man.
Oh, come
We were
on.
showing him.
Guys, I just want to say thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much.
This is a very nice opportunity to talk to my students and tell them I had a lot of good teachers, fantastic teachers, but one of the teachers that I remember the most, because not only she was very young, but she was very good. And when you see someone and you see, oh, she's very young, so I know a little bit more. And that doesn't happen because she was so good when she taught me those classes, and she still teaches me a lot. And it's just great to have you here on the show and to see how strong you are and how perfect energy you have and transmit. So for me, it's a real pleasure to have here on my show and my YouTube channel. Thank you very much, Ellie, for being here.
Thank you so much, Alejo. I'm the one who feels grateful, happy, honored, and all the positive adjectives that you can imagine.
That's an English class. Adjectives.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And
Thank
Maui,
you.
thank you very much for being here on the show today, man. Take care of this lady the rest of your life.
Oh, for sure, man.
Hey, did you know that I married a couple? I did. Did I tell you the
yes.
story?
you tell us.
Yeah,
I saw you on Facebook.
a couple of friends. They said, we don't believe in religion or laws, so we want someone to marry us, and you could be the guy. And I was the guy who married. So I have the power to marry you right now if you want.
Oh, that sounds good, babe.
Okay. Oh my God, we should end up the show. That's
No,
not a good
really,
idea.
I will tell you something, guys. Alejo says something really important.
Like
Well,
getting married?
Yeah, but also it happened just in the movies. Why we can create our movies?
Yeah,
Why we can?
We should.
Why,
We should.
Why we just pretend to live the other life?
Oh
It's just
my
like
God.
let's create our movies. And to be honest with you, I live a movie.
You're living
and I
the
live
movie right now.
And not just the movie. I live my dream with and by her.
Oh, okay, that's good. And you know what? You just remind me something before we finish. And there's very soon, probably next year, we're gonna start shooting our series
Yeah.
for the YouTube channel, and you're gonna be the star,
Alejo,
Ellie.
no.
You're gonna be the star, and he's gonna be the star, and we are gonna have a lot of surprises for you next year. So stay tuned because we're gonna do a lot of things.
Because he
Alejo,
is the bright
thank you
star.
so
No,
much.
thank you for
Thank
being on the
thank
show.
you.
Look at him. He's the
Because
sun.
every time they have the chance to share a moment with you is a moment full of magic.
You're so nice. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much.
And thank you very much to HD Latam. This beautiful place is fantastic, and we're going to be shooting our show over here. So
What-
thank you to Juan. Juan
Alejo,
Mejia
what
is
if
over here.
What if I propose a big clap for Juan?
Yeah! HD
Yeah.
Latam. You can follow them on Instagram, and of course, you can follow us on Alejo Lopera Inglés. So thank you very much, guys. I will be seeing you next time on the Alejo Show. So take care. I love you guys.
Welcome to
The ALEJO S SHOW.